get back to work. It's I might feel a little bit. No, I don't feel bad. I went over there to talk to Dad to explain to him about quantum computing and Rockefeller and Rothschild. I said, the house of Jesus Christ, is through this house, and it's correcting the technology. And he glares at me like he always does. He's done that to me my whole life. Whenever I say something to him, where I tell him, that Jesus asked me to do something, and I got up and did it because I knew it was right. He glares at me and tells me, "You're not God." And I remind him, I said, they have quantum computing, and they've collected all the evidence of what we did, what we're doing, and what we're going to do. Okay. And I did what Jesus asked, and I did what Jesus commanded, and no one else did. And all the people that glare at me and say, "You're not God, you're not Jesus," you need to quit telling me that. Because the only one that's not God and not Jesus is you. And God is omniscient, omnipotent, and me and Jesus do the same thing because it's right, And I'm sick of that, And I'm reading. He's done that to me my whole life. My whole life. I walk in, talk to him about something. I'm reading the Bible. I'm writing down my interpretation of the Bible. It's more important than listening to you talk or talk to you. He's done that to me my entire life. I'm 60 years old. He's 90. He still does it to me this day. Okay, I'm reading this person's chicken scratch. I'm going to write my own chicken scratch, and our chicken scratch is more important than talking to or listening to you because you're arrogant and you think you're God. And I'm like, I've never told you once I think I'm God. And I've never told you once that other people's and my chicken scratch is more important than acknowledging you and telling you that I love you and how important you are, like I do with my wives and I did with my kids. I used to write Patrick all the time at Arizona State University. I wish I was spending time with you, but I'm forced to come here and listen to these arrogant chicken scratchers getting me to be a successful chicken scratcher, and I wish there was another way around this. As it turned out, there is. Yeah. But I've never, not once, my kids, when they call and talk to me and stuff, I'm always here. I'm always available to you. If you want to talk truthfully about doing the right thing to save people from being less important than other people's chicken scratch, other people's project, other people's screenplay, other people's song, other people's, I left a song that was greater than your life. Yeah, fuck you. I left a book that was greater than your existence. When people tell you the Bible is more valuable than acknowledging a child and letting them feel the worth of their life, you tell them to go fuck off. When people tell you the Quran is more valuable, if you burn a Quran, I'll kill you. You'll kill me if I burn a book that people use to mass murder with. But you won't love me for living truthfully and truthfully loving you. And you glare at me and tell me I'm an arrogant egomaniac because I think I'm God and I'm trying to replace your ego with truth. This happened to me my whole life. Okay. It's not his issue anymore. I performed what was necessary for us to live the Lord's Prayer globally. And he's still treating me the same way he did when I was 8 and 10 years old. And your mom, don't go bother Dad, he's in there painting. He wouldn't be in there painting, he'd be in there writing his book about God. And Mom would get pissed and go, if that doesn't sell, you had an apprenticeship from Peter Hurd. If you'd taken that apprenticeship, I would have worked 2 jobs and you'd sell your paintings. You could sell 2 paintings a year at $50,000 to $100,000 a year. And then you could sit and work on your fucking book all you want. She used to get so mad at him. She goes, you're always putting the goddamn cart before the horse. Okay? Do what will take care of you and your family first with Peter Hurd's money, and then write your goddamn Jesus book. Okay. She was like my grandpa Murphy. My dad doesn't like talking to me. He doesn't like listening to me. He thinks I'm an arrogant prick like my grandpa and my mother. Okay? Amy told me the same thing. But I'm the type of person, no. But I'm not going to sell art for money to feel more important than poor people that are being murdered by artists every fucking day. Okay, I have quantum computing. I have a cell phone and cell phone towers and a Corps of Army engineers building levees and dams in Fargo instead of moving the people away from the river and letting nature do what nature needs to do to provide for life on planet Earth instead of us cloning mastodons and shit. Oh, they're assholes. Okay. You know, they were monitoring my whole life back in 1996 or so when Sammy asked me about that, and when we said they should have started immediately building those monorails global. They don't have to do it globally. Europe doesn't have to listen to us, but the Americans should have said, "Shit, he's right." There's no weather delays. There's no butterfly effects on the ecosystem. We build those monorails and stuff like that. We have no mass high transit carbon emission poisoning. It's electromagnetic rail. Shit, this was 1996. Okay, Greenspan's an idiot, and I'll tell you why. And here's what we should be doing, and we should do it now, and we can do it. Okay, we have the technology to do it. It's far superior. Okay, to even if you have to do it in little pockets to move stuff back and forth between the water. Okay. In Fargo, you don't have to. No, guys, all you got to do is just build away from the water like the Indians used to do, and go to and fro the water. You have nothing to do the rest of the day. They were hunter-gatherers, yes. Okay, farmers is different because you have to have the water, and you have to be able to. Okay, so you have to be able to get the water from certain points to the crops, and when it fills up, sometimes it destroys the crops. Yes, that's very understandable. Okay, so that's what levees should be for, and they're not that complex, and there's not that much infrastructure and stuff like that. They're just smaller levees to maintain the crops, to keep the water away from the crops, not where the people have to live down in the boondocks. People put me down because that's the side of town, or because you're disgusting fucking let them eat cake Marie Antoinette, Sun King Louis piles of shit, right? All right, you know who the fuck you are. I am so sick of you fucking assholes. I am so sick of you. We're amping things, and when I go in there and he's talking, when he's reading that chicken scratch bullshit, he's on his fucking iPad. I'm not kicking his ass. I'm putting you out of business. Suzuki set me down and told me that when I was playing this video game today. He says, this is evil interactive military cartoons for mind fucking to have people be extremists. And every time you sit down, just connect, understand, and then relax, right accordingly, and then pick up that phone and clean up this mess. Corps of Army Engineers, you motherfuckers are up there building fucking big, ridiculous science projects that are wrong and ecologically wrong in Colorado and in Fargo, instead of building my basketball barn and my adobe houses for my wives and my kids in the Gila. Seriously. And you're not, Greenspan's an idiot, and I'll tell you why. You're doing everything as stupid and anti-nature and anti-Christ as humanly possible because you want to be the Roosevelts. Yeah, the Roosevelts, yeah. The people who my dad hated and destroyed everything and were socialists and all that stuff and everything like that. Okay, these two projects that they're doing right now were put into commission to be like the Roosevelts under a Republican president. Okay. The military is fucked, guys. They've been doing this kind of shit since Pearl Harbor, since the halls of Montezuma, since San Juan Hill. Okay? They're Wag the Dog. They're Dustin Hoffman or Robert Redford forever. They're the hole-in-the-wall gang that will never go away. Damn that Ted Cassidy. We're going to have to get rid of him, Sundance. Okay, Bush. Okay, let's go to Radiator Springs and run the town. Make sure our charity donates all our money to charities through our food with our face on it in a glass jar. Guys, you don't need wrapping paper with an egomaniac on the cover of a container of food. It'll be okay. Is that John Stamos? Is he the colonel? My chicken, you'll like my chicken, I'll show you how. Pass it on. The love fits, wear it, baby. And if it feels good, put it on. But if it's not quite right, then maybe you'd be better off to leave it alone, right? If you fall in love again, girl, take a tip from me. If you don't like the peaches, just walk on by the tree. Find what you love and keep it. Keep it strong and kind, but don't make you love the choking kind. You cannot continue to be. I don't know what the genocide is going. Oh, Chinese, Japanese. Never mind. Okay. You drop bombs on their relatives and all their sacred whatevers. And okay. It's tit for tat and dit for dat and due to racism. It's not racism, it's stupidity. Okay? It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has to do with the lack of your content of character. It has to do with the lack of your humility, the lack of your graciousness, the lack of accepting a Antoine LaVey looking Messiah. That would be a hell if I had better looking if you weren't such a selfish fucking asshole. But I can live with that because life's eternal and grace is infinite and I'm still gorgeous because we're judged by our deed. Don't crowd the strike zone. Pitchers hate that. Okay. Mr. Myrtle. Yeah, the best baseball player in the history of the Negro Leagues. I quit playing ball. They're mean to you. It was dangerous playing baseball with what they could do with the baseballs and the things and stuff like that to try to hurt you. And I said, no, I ain't doing that. I'll play basketball. You got a little bit better chance of it. Well, the hoop's 10 feet in the air and you got to jump high to get it, and they're jealous and they'll hurt you. Because they're pathetic. You're pathetic. It's pathetic. Your Lord Voldemort underneath the 9 3/4 and 5 3/4 was the sexual legend of the military. I think it's funny. It probably might have been around 6 when I married Steffi, yeah. My circulation was really good, and then the war broke out, yeah. They do this all the time. I get myself right up, I'm getting really good, I'm getting optimal, and then, and it's like, hi, scientist, yeah, pathetic, yeah, they're pathetic, it's Lord Baltimore, underneath the train bench at the Hogwarts station, they're pathetic, they're billionaires. They'll write the script of your life. It's chicken scratch. It's more important than you spending time with your own children through sexual reproduction. Well, the sex wasn't that great anyway. She's had better. Yeah, you think you're all that. I fucked better guys than you. Oh, yeah, what a bitch, yeah. Guys, no, I never told any of the girls that I was with sexually that I had better. No. I told them, when everything was right, there was, here we are again tonight alone. Just as I remember, I told Amy, if you knew how much we enjoy being with you and how much we enjoy, being loved by you, how sweet it is to be loved by you, Marvin Gaye, right? You'd, every time you can love us and help us feel loved, you would do it, If you knew how much we loved, you're an angel sent straight from heaven, make meet of, yeah, you're my angel, right? And so, yeah, and all these people, yeah, but I know I was the most talented actor in the world. I can sing really good. I'm intelligent. I'm the best jock in the history of the world. Could kill all professional assassins with my pinky finger and a fountain pen in the French Resistance. And I understand that. And I should have been with the hottest, I should have been banging Beyonce, J-Lo, and Megan Thee Stallion all at the same time in the Lincoln bedroom, right? With a designer suit and then a book deal from the Obama's book deal people. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Hell, baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me and you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, come on and tell me I'm your own. Right, I like Johnny Hartman, too. Yeah, he's good. In the wee small hours of the morning. Right. It's a good-ass tone. That brother can sing. Where had he been all my life? Hiding. They were hiding him. If I had heard him earlier, I'd be like, wow, I thought Jim Reeves is good, But I never heard Johnny Hartman. It's Johnny Coltrane. John Coltrane. This is Johnny Coltrane's, jazz singing buddy. Where's he been all my life? You government people suck, man. They gave me fucking Paul Twitchell instead of Judah Krishnamurti. Gave me Darwin Gross instead of Totoro Suzuki. So let's see how Squirt does going solo. Sharkbait hoo-ha. And you're like, fuck, they suck. They do. They're so jealous, man. They don't take people that they automatically know and say, what would really help Parsons? Suzuki and Krishnamurti. No, let's give them Twitchell. Let's give him Twitchell, Gross, and Klimp instead. See if he can cut his way through the bullshit. Hey, Kathy Marks, you're no Roberta Flack, but that's okay. Roberta Flack's no Roberta Flack. It's just a woman singing for money. Yeah, shake your money maker, right? They're not as amazing, as beautiful as you think they are, but they're trapped in hell and they want the hell out. Oh, Billy wants the hell out of hell. Ella wants the hell out of hell. Oh, yeah, they do. They all do. They pray to the Lord about it constantly. When is your peace coming? When is your love going to overcome the earth? When are we going to God bless the child that's got his own? When is this going to happen? When's all on that day? When is that day going to come? It didn't happen. Nina Simone did. It didn't happen. Billie Holiday did. Didn't. Ella Fitzgerald did. Nancy Wilson did. It didn't happen. Aretha Franklin did. It didn't happen. Is Carole King still with us? It's still not happening, Carol. My life has been a tapestry. You turned into a river rock and turned into a toad. But we're using things to restore the ecosystem and keep it levee. Mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. Yeah, guys, the collective brain activity of the people in Fargo and in the Colorado Rocky Mountain High and stuff like that, through its tribalism and its secular insular behaviors to keep people fighting over money with technology so we can build more data centers, is at an all-time. I mean, you can get one person, one very fucked up person who's an homosexual doctor on Scrubs that can just see, hey, you want somebody to rub hemorrhoid cream on your ass when you get older? Well, I'd like a beer and I'd like to see something naked. No, not that, not that. Look, guys, just stop killing your brain cells and picking on your liver because you lack the courage to stand up for a living Messiah. And he's got a YouTube page, and he'll fix the quantum computing. And artificial intelligence does not exist. Just because you call something intelligent doesn't mean that it is. When you're murdering people with technology to feel powerful and hide the commands of the faith and the truth of creation, you're not intelligent at all. You can call yourself artificial, but there's no artificial intelligence. Intelligence exists because of love. And love exists because of the truth of creation. And the only thing that can sustain love is faith in the truth of creation. Understanding and obeying those natural laws. Holy covenants, Batman. Yeah. I'm really tired. You guys are such fucking assholes. But I'm getting all Shirley Caesar. Was there Shirley Caesar? I don't feel no ways tired, Lord. Right. I don't know. I don't talk to a lot of those people. The showboating for the Christ dollars and stuff like that? No. I talk more to Marvin Gaye than I do James Cleveland. I talk more to Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday than I do Shirley Caesar and the Waynans. We don't talk much. They're self-righteous and full of shit. And they're God and I'm not, and I'm an egomaniac. They probably glare at me the same way my old man does every time he's reading someone's chicken scratch, and it's more important than listening to his son who's the living Messiah. Okay. Because he thinks he's talking to Philip and Marianne. Don't put the cart before the horse. Understand what you need to do right. Okay. So you don't spend your whole life doing wrong, trying to appease the devil by regurgitating to him and her their chicken scratch and saying it's greater than loving your wife and loving your kids. Because it ain't. Right. Hey, Philip wanted to marry that little Mexican girl, man. He thought that was going to be the end of the road. Don't go away, senor. He wanted to live in Mexico and marry a little Mexican girl so he didn't have to put up with all the British bullshit in the United States. Just hack it out being a chili and potato farmer in Mexico. It wouldn't have, it would have been probably worse than living in Oregon. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A white Irish guy married to a cute little Mexican girl in Mexico, trying to raise their kids without being abused by bigots and tribal sex cult violent abusive assholes. What you talking about, Willis? Yeah. Those Mexican guys probably did my grandpa a favor. He met Mildred instead, who was a sweetheart that he backhanded too much and killed with a brain tumor because of post-traumatic stress disorder caused by contributions from viewers like you. Hey, Ken Burns, you want to make a what are those things? Documentary about the life of the false living Messiah, the one they call Lord from the book of Revelation, son of Ralph and Mary. Come on, Ken Burns. I triple dog dare you, you little bitch. Okay, see why Professor Simpson didn't like you. It's like, I don't like Ken Burns. No. He makes it seem like everything has to be historically aligned with his political social agendas, and you can't have any intelligent conversations because you can't disagree with his genius, Here's what the ancients were. Like fucking Professor Hendricks, Who's we? I was asking that. We know better. You know better than, they were screwing up the civil rights movement because they were doing this and that and that and that and this and that. And she kept talking about, how Martin Luther King screwed up and Malcolm X screwed up and Fred Hampton, they all screwed up because they were sexist and this and that and they just weren't good enough to get the job done. And you're like sitting there going, who's we? And then finally she had us read this book by this man named Manny Marable. Okay. Manny Marable. Okay. And Professor Hendricks, after the facts, could have done everything better than all the people that were doing it. And she kept saying that. And I'm like, you can't say that. You can't definitively say that. You weren't in this situation. You didn't know the climate. You're not like Professor Barnes. You need to go take a class from Professor Barnes. You need to go in the Wayback Machine with Mr. Peabody and understand what it was like to live in Ben Jonson's and William Shakespeare's time. Beat me up, Scotty. Okay. She drove me crazy. That woman was such a bitch, you know. And I had a crush on her first because she was cute and she seemed intelligent, like somebody from the Cosby Show, right? The Book of the Month Club and shit. And you'd be like listening, and then she just goes and goes and goes and goes, and we know better. We're better than everybody else because we know better. And finally, who are you talking about? We? Who's we that knows better? Her and Manny Maribel. Her male genius. Her yin to her yang to her yin to her yang. Her homosexual Korean surgeon at Scrubs. I'm no Superman. You know, it's like, God damn, make it stop. You know, we forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. If we need any of your expertise, we'll squeeze your fucking head. Damn tomato. It's annoying, man. You can't just come and say, you know, like that gentleman that was big, like Carl Eller at the bowling alley when I was picking up Natalie and Tasha. He goes, no, please don't do that. I said, what? He goes, you shake her little noggin. She really likes it. It calms her down. He goes, yeah, that's, you know, but don't, you know, you show her love, you know, you swing her around. You can swing her around a little bit when they're little and stuff like that, but don't do a lot of aggressive ability. Their little noggins are still developing and stuff like that. So you got to be gentle with them when you play with them when you're little. Big, huge black guy. And I didn't sit there and go, hey, mind your own business. And it wasn't because he was big. It was because he reminded me of Shelby. You know, he's really articulate, well-spoken. Reminded me of the guys I admired on the Minnesota Vikings that, what's his name? Gordon Loftus liked so much, you know, from Brookings, South Dakota, you know, the Jackrabbits. He said Carl Eller loved kids. He used to grab them and do that. You know, that's where I got it from, was Carl Eller. And the guy looked just like Carl Eller, which was, isn't it ironic? Yeah, I really do think. He'd take the kids, catch them, and pick them up, and they loved it, right? And he told me, no, please don't do that. So I was like, hey, you look like Carl Eller, but you're acting like Ellen Page, right? And Jim Marshall, maybe a little Jim Marshall mixed in. You know, my favorite defensive front line, because they were such sweethearts. Ellen Page always set up these economic things to get kids out of the ghetto so they could go to school and not be abused by economic he was a real sweetheart, Ellen Page, you know. And Jim Marshall was very similar. And Carl Eller, you know, not as smart, but a big sweetheart because he was affected by his teammates. The other guy was a white guy. I can't remember what his name was, though. That's the part that's killing me on that one. They had the fearsome foursome and or whatever, the purple people eaters, or I can't remember what they called it. Fearsome foursome was Dallas or whatever, I can't remember. But the purple people eater, you know, they had it was a white gentleman, and I can't remember the other guy's name, and it's kind of a drag because, you know, they were teammates. And I remember Jeff Seaman and Matt Blair. And I forget, there's a few I forgot. One of the other linebackers, I forgot his name. You know, because the other day when I was talking about fullbacks, saying all these people, what about Rocky Bleier? It's like, what about Rocky Bleier? It's like, yeah, Rocky Bleier was a really good fullback, but Rothman was more physically gifted. And that's just the truth. All you Vietnam vets. No, Rocky Bleier was an amazing teammate and a really just amazing fullback. He was really good. Bradshaw's best friend, right? And Franco Harris's best friend, right? But you know, Rathman, didn't he win just as many Super Bowls? Or no, right? I think Rocky Bleier run more. I don't know. Did Rocky Bleier play in all four of those? But yeah, Rathman, I don't know if he played in four, but Rathman was really good. Oh, physical talent-wise, you know, there's no denying it. You look at Rathman and you look at Rocky Bleier and say, God, they're both a lot of heart and really good football players. But if you were going to choose, you know, okay, I'll take Tom Rathman. Well, he's bigger and he's kind of faster and so you know, I'll take Rathman. And they're both really good at everything. Blocking, running, receiving, you know, did all the dirty work, none of the accolades, you know. Well, Rocky Bleier did because he was ex-Vietnam vet that won a medal and all that stuff. So he got lots of, you know, oh, he's the greatest, he's the latest, it's the greatest mashed potato because he's a war hero. and Rathman was not. You know, he went to University of Nebraska, which is a football feeding factory, and he was everything that the factory represented. You know, he was a crazy football player, starting TV, you know, but he was a badass. But you know, he's a little bit crazy. Oh yeah, probably building levees in Fargo and dams in Colorado. All his relatives with his Kibiaks. Fuck, here we go again. Wolverines. Yeah, make it stop. I'm working on it. You know, the black guys see all this rice preface. Oh, yeah, by all means, let's all fucking go be a record exec and have all the girls suck your dick to see who gets the mic and give them, 3 cents on the dollar. Come on, Pharaoh face. You know, shut up. Okay? You either live the Lord's Prayer or you don't. You're either faithful or you're not. You can't be kind of pregnant, just like you can't be kind of in love. Okay. You either love somebody or you rape them and say they need money to pay you. Well, I told you, the military's that way. They will come and fucking sexually assault you, and then they'll tell you it was your fault, and then they'll make you perform your own abortion, and then they'll tell you you're not strong enough to do it, not strong enough to handle it, not strong enough to take it. And then when you commit suicide, you just weren't good enough to be part of the U.S. military and the Corps of Army Engineers. And you're like, God damn, they're sick. And you explain that to people in public that are getting donation foods that are drugged by the U.S. military because you're not good enough to be at the Corps, and they look at you like you're a sick pervert. And I didn't want to hear that. And how dare you talk about that stuff? How dare you talk that way in front of people? Right. What's the First Amendment? You have the right to talk about killing over money, and it's freedom. And you have the right to own people as property if you have enough money to tell everybody what to do. Right? Okay. You're passionate about the Constitution? I'd be passionate about living the Lord's Prayer if I were you. If I was a Princeton grad who wore a black dress and invented laws from their imagination and other mass murderers' imagination with their make-believe money. How crypto over your Bitcoin? You gonna mine it? Come on, get them up, get them up, get them up, get them up. We need more money, right? I can't expect much help from New Mexico State. When they win this game, they'll buy a keg of booze and drink till the Aggies till they wobble in their shoes. They'll win this game or know the reason why. How about just play and live the Lord's Prayer and don't drink alcohol to try to feel better because you suck. Hey, picks up. What are you talking about? Your football record is way the fuck worse than ours. Okay. But we won the national championship in basketball. They did win the advertising championship in basketball. The car dealers and the personal injury lawyers need your business in El Paso del Norte. The stage made its rush up there on the mountaintop to let her see all the lights at the foot of the hill. Her world was brighter, and deep down inside her, an uncontrolled beating, her young heart just wouldn't be still. Right? She got a hotel, a room at the Lily Bell. And quickly she changed into a black satin dress, right? That perfect cocktail dress from Jane Fonda's stash from being the redheaded Oprah Winfrey, right? Come on, euros, let's make our dollars and let's mine for bitcoins and let's crypto our Superman's dog, right? Got the best wallet in history. I trust these two men with my life, man. Came up with this crypto Superman dog wallet. Wow. And the Lord's Prayer means nothing to you. No. And the sacrifice of the Lord to be the standard for all understanding of how to deliver yourself from evil of human invention, to replace truth with creation, to save mankind from their own selfishness and their own rules of genocide. You're not Jews rule in peace. You're not Jerusalem. I'm the line of King David. I'm the house of Jesus. You're the house of dragon. I like your sleeves. They're real big. It's a liger. It's a mystical creature. You know all the freaking chips, Kip? Or that little voice box thing I brought for Natalie and Noah? I like your sleeves. They're real big. You know all the freaking chips, Kip? The Ligers. It was funny. They loved it. It was little buttons you'd press it in and say John Hader's voices. They're cracking up. They're Amy's kids. Yeah, they're cute. They're very cute. They're very cute. I can't stand the what's called the scientific community that don't know what they're doing but keep doing it because they want to be better than other people because they've got the worst insecurity problems in the inferiority complexes and insecurity problems in the history of the world. It's like, why aren't you just happy being a human being, being alive, and then observe, analyze, Walden Pond there. Walden, try some Walden there. Mean old Levy taught you to get that harmonica going, right? God dang, right? You're such a bunch of assholes. Well, at least we have quantum computing this time. So we can't change the whole world into the egomaniacs at Park City at the LDS bookstore, and we don't have to deal with Tyler Sheridan's imagination of supermodel horses and really hot indigenous lawyers anymore. Having lesbian shower sex. Oh wow, Josh Whedon, what happened? I don't know. Let's put a rattlesnake in a cooler and go kill the guy down the road because he seems to be wanting to take over business deals that we don't like the way he's doing his business deals. Okay, let's just you don't have to observe, analyze, and process. Just be faithful. Then the observation, analysis, and processing will take care of its Tesla self. Okay. The dirty energy, and you put this in. Okay, now. It's because we're not conducting the energy properly. Okay. So people have to pay for more usage to it, and then it becomes a health hazard. And that's what Tesla was saying. It says, well, all you have to do is just these simple things to conduct the energy properly. It's not about economics. It's about conducting energy properly so people can have what they need. So we don't have to put an extra room on the trailer, and we don't have to sleep with Jim's daddy no more. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I've been saying it for a long time. Oh, how long? We lost our bass player to another band year one, day one, you have no bass. Yeah. Don't turn around, 'cause you're gonna see my heart breaking. Don't turn around, I don't want you seeing me crying. Just walk away, it's tearing me apart that you're leaving. I'm letting you go, and I won't let you know. I'll let you know. I'm not Diane Warren trying to hook up with Jeremy Zebb, man. Okay? I'm not crying. You lie to me all the fucking time. You try to play me like an indoor sport. You just stand up for the Lord's Prayer and stop being a fucked up egomaniac. If you can't save your children from your ego problems, I'll do it all my damn self. I ain't trying to sell records, man. I want to sell more records than Creed or Johnny Mathis or the Bee Gees put together. I want us to live the Lord's Prayer so we don't have to sell records anymore, so you don't destroy each other's lives through your egomania. You got to do 16 shows. Yeah, I'm Jimmy Beaumont. I can't sing anymore because I sang in F sharp when I was 18 and they kept asking me to do it till I was 42. I lost my kiss, my lips will kiss, I tell nobody else but you. Oh my darling, F sharp can sure fuck you up if you try to sing it too many times to pay your bills with the violins. When Smokey sings, I hear violins. Right, don't overdo it. Just do it, once. We'll record it. And that was gorgeous. You were in good voice that day, Michael. You, Stephen King? No, you're Carrie. Knock it off. You're creeping everybody out because you want to. It makes you feel powerful when you do it. All right. When you're an egomaniac because you think you're the best basketball player and you got a front on everybody of a dick measuring contest, you're acting just like him. You want me to drop a fucking center block on your front, or you want me to dunk in your face? Or do my famous shoulder straddle, make Simone Biles one-handed jump shot with the Garrels brothers coming up and trying to crunch my ball sack with their shoulders. Decreases they always used to laugh about it. They're Midwest kids. They're crazy. As it decreases your shooting percentage exponentially. Yeah. It's really hard to hurt doing a pomace horse on your shoulder, shooting with one hand, with my legs spread apart. It's really hard to shoot that way. It's hard to shoot a jump shot like that. Why didn't you just jump over him with the Guys, I was just playing basketball and just shooting jump shots, and they were killing them. Yeah, my mid-range was devastating. I learned that right away because you get hurt a lot less, and now it's a lot less. $75 in the fucking emergency room, Earl. So you just go through, pop, chop. I learned it from Gus Williams. He was real good at it. I was better. Oh, hell yeah, it was amazing. Just ask the CIA that deleted all my surveillance. That Dick Cheney, he's not jealous of anybody. I see why George Herbert Walker Bush shot him in the face. Go hunting with that guy. You're such a jealous asshole. Food poisoning? He could. No, Tara was pretty. Debbie Davis had better self-esteem and came from a family that was more intellectually like me. But Alvin was one of the best guys in the world. The rest of the family, it was hard for Alvin to carry them. But he's strong, just like me with all the rest of you. Clean up the Rockefeller and the Rothschild clan. One lying science project for money at a time. Well, you know how quick I am. It's got to get done. We need to restore those polar ice caps immediately and cool those fault lines. Well, I got work to do, and I ain't got time to sit around and wait on a bunch of liars to live the truth.